or we'll send you the clean recording just in case. But all right, well, this is Steve Black, and I want to thank you for being on this webinar with me. It's going to be about an hour session, and it's going to be one of the best hours that you've ever done. For those of you that don't know me, I've been coaching real estate agents for probably 25 years, since 1994. I'm well known for hosting an event called the Success Summit Seminar, where hundreds of people would come together. When I showed up in San Francisco, Seattle, it sold out because it got a reputation for being what works now. How do you use social media? How do you use video marketing? How do you build your brand, generate referrals, build your profit share, get more out of Ignite, get more out of Bold, and get more out of KV Core? And I'm going to address that in today's session. As most people, my business has been affected by the pandemic, but it's been for the better. And you're the recipients, because I've never been able to deliver this kind of content to such a wide, diverse group of folks. So grab a pen, grab a paper. Our worksheet today is the 4-page worksheet. If you don't have it, just grab 4 pieces of paper and we'll go from there. I'd like you to start with my social media handle, Above Business Success Training. If you'll put down @SteveBlackSpeaker. @SteveBlackSpeaker. That's my social media handle. And that's also my first lesson of the day. If you've got to have a social media handle that's branded and representative of you. I know a lot of you may have started your social media before you were in real estate, or you let Facebook or Instagram pick your handle. You should be able to hand a business card to your next prospect and say, hey, make sure we stay connected. Follow me on the social networks. And hopefully that handle is the same on LinkedIn, Instagram, and Facebook. Mine is, I hope yours is. So if it isn't, put a double asterisk next to that. Maybe we need to do a rebranding. Also, for those of you out there, I feed off of your energy. So if you could turn on your cameras, it really makes the session a lot better. I'm going to be having a lot of raise your hands and thumbs up, that kind of stuff. And I appreciate it. You'll get more out of the session if your camera's on. And I do not care if the house is messy or your makeup's not done. That's not what it's about. All right. So what I'd like you to do on the worksheet is start with the 12-month goal. Write down a 12-month goal. How much money would you like to make? Gross commission, September 10th of this year to September 10th of next year. What is your time going to be worth? Stephanie, give me a thumbs up if you can see my screen okay. All right. So everybody give me a 12-month goal. How much money do you want to make in the next 12 months, gross commission? Put down a 5-year goal. What do you want the next 5 years to look like for you? I know that's a tough question before you've even know what you're going to have for lunch, but you know, $1 million, $1.5 million, $2 million. I mean, if you're in it to win it, you're going to have a 5-year goal. And I picked 5 years as a number because it's such an important number. When we talk to clients and we say, did you like your agent? Would you use that agent again? A whopping 89% of people say, yeah, I love my agent. I'll definitely use them again. You fast forward 5 short years and it goes from 89% of people using the same person all the way down to 11%. So that says to me, Stephanie, that there's an issue out there with people staying top of mind, keeping relationships going. And if Gary Keller was here on the webinar with me, he would tell you, you know, touch your sphere and touch them often. I think 33 times a year or more. And with social media, it's never been easier to achieve this. So your 5-year goal, put down 2 90-day goals. First 90-day goal I'd like is how many listings are you going to get in the next 3 months? So two a month would be 6. Most of my students are doing 2 a week, so that's 24. Pick a number between the two and let's commit to it. How many listings are you going to get between now and December 10th? Put down another goal. In the next 90 days, how much you're going to put under contract? I mean, even if you just sold 2 $400,000 condos, you'd be looking at $2.4 million a quarter. You'd be looking at $10 million a year. They seem like big numbers, but inch by inch, these goals are a cinch. So put down a goal, how much you're going to have under contract. If I was out in Calabasas on December 10th, you give me a high five. You're like, Mr. Black, you really fired me up that morning. I got off my butt. I made things happen. I created activity. I touched my sphere. I did 5 Zooms a day, every day. And I was able to, put 3 million under contract. So set those goals. All right. Who out there set a goal to do better than they're doing? Could I see a raise of hands? Who's looking to do better than they're doing? All right. Asterisk. All right. Lewis. All right. Listen, to do better, you have to be willing to do things different, and doing things different is tough because we're all creatures of habit. But I'm going to tell you, I'm going to share with you what works. Tony Robbins would tell you, if you want to learn how to cook Chinese food, learn it from somebody that knows how to do it. I'm going to let you in behind the curtain of what a lot of the top producers in your company are doing to get the results they're getting. So I'd like you to write down 5 things. And if you don't have the worksheet, just jot down 1 through 5. Jot down number 1, jot down Facebook personal. And if you want to abbreviate, just put FB personal. Number 2, put down FB business, Facebook business. Number 3, put down video marketing. And jot down next to video marketing, FEAR. You got to get past your fear and get on camera. And for all of those of you with your camera off, let's turn them on. I want this to be a good interactive session. I want it to be a great interactive session. So those of you that have turned it on, I appreciate it. And I really encourage the rest of you to do it. Thank you so much, Carmen. All right, so we talked about video marketing, number 3. Number 4, we're gonna talk about Instagram, or you could abbreviate IG. And number 5, put down virtual selling skills. The stuff I'm talking to you about may have been optional before March 15th. It's mandatory now. I mean, with California regulations, 2 people in a house, how are you going to hold an open house? You're going to have a virtual open house. You're going to do it off of your business page. You're going to do it via Zoom. And I had an agent out in Orlando, the agent I'll hire with highlight today with Keller Williams, 60-year-old woman. When I got a hold of her 4 years ago, knew nothing about social media. They call her the social media queen. Stephanie, she did her first virtual open house 3 weeks ago. She was so excited. She goes, Steve, I've been in real estate 32 years. I got 15 leads out of this virtual open house. In 32 years, I never did a traditional open house and got more than 5 qualified leads. This was by far the most successful open house I've ever held. And now it's a part of her marketing plan. And you say, well, how do I do it? Where do I put that? How do I promote it? How do I get a lot of people there instead of nobody showing up? That is questions that I can answer for you. And so put down number 1 is Facebook personal, 2 is Facebook business, 3 is Instagram, 3 is video marketing, 4 is Instagram, and 5 is virtual selling skills. And don't grade yourself yet. You may think you're a 6 and you might only be a 3 when you hear me talk for a little bit. So let's continue. I'd like you to go to the second page. And if you don't have a second page, just draw a line down a piece of paper. On the left side, I want you to put down Facebook personal. On the right side, we're going to put Facebook business. And I'll pause while you get that set up. And for those of you just coming on, I'm looking for everybody to put in the chat box your name, your cell number. Great, Luis. Your name, your cell number, and how long you've been in real estate. Nina, 2.5 years. Kurt, 1 year. I need a cell phone from each of you, okay? I need to know who's here. Pamela. Okay, no worries, Pamela. All right, so Alper, I need a cell, I got your number and I got 1 month. I'm gonna text you one of my eBooks on how to network your way to success. I usually sell it for 17 bucks. Since you're friends of Keller Williams out in California, you're gonna get it for free. All I need is a cell number to text it to. All right, so your personal profile on the left side, write down relationships. It's all about relationships, right? If I talk to any top producer that's on the call today and I say, where are you getting your business from? They're gonna say my sphere, my warm market, right? They're probably not gonna tell me realtor.com. So, though that can augment it, and I'm not saying don't do that, but the reality is you're in a relationship business. Most of you are doing with people you know, like, and trust. So connect with them as friends on Facebook. And then here's the magic, the secret sauce. Write this down. Put them into friends lists. Put them into friends lists. And I'll show you what I mean by that in a minute. But also write this down on the left side of your worksheet where it says Facebook personal. Put down 80/20. 80/20. 80% of the stuff you put on your personal profile should be about life. 20% should be about business. So keep it in that ratio and you'll do good. You won't turn people off, but you'll remind them you're out there, you're live, and you're producing. So I run a business success series. I don't like to call it coaching because you guys have Ignite coaching and you have Bold. That's your coaching. I have what's called the Business Success Series, and I do a live webinar every month. 2 months ago, I did this webinar, and it was called Facebook Personal Strategy to Build Relationships, Generate Leads, and More. It's codenamed at the company, How to Use Your Facebook Personal Profile as Your Rolodex. And I'm going to show you some of the things that we covered there relative to the personal profile. And if you would like access to this, just stay with us to the end of the webinar, and I'll show you how to get access to this. But what we talked about, everything from setting your profile up to having your employment in the right place to being uber efficient with lists. So here's how you set up your Facebook list. You got to set them up on your laptop or your desktop. It won't work to set them up on your cell phone. All right. And once you go to your laptop interface, and I know it's changing. Some of you are on new, some of you are on classic. It doesn't matter. There'll be a little F key in the upper left-hand corner. You start there. You come down to, you scroll down here, you probably have to click see more, and then it'll say friends list. You go up here to where it says create list, and you create list. Here's the important thing, not the button pushing. I could teach you button pushing. I'll direct you to a video. Here's the important thing. What are your lists going to be? And on these webinars that I do once a month, usually there's 300 or 400 agents from all around the country, and we brainstorm the 6 best ones. Write these down. Number 1, you need a client list. Even if you're new, even if you've just started, even if you've never sold a house, you set up a client list. A year from now, you've sold 15 houses. And now you can stay up to date, keep in touch with what your clients are doing. This is probably your most important list. At the end of 5 years, you have 75 or 100 clients. You know when they got their job promotion, when they're expecting a new baby, when they're on vacation, and you stay top of mind. Everybody give me a thumbs up if that's important to stay top of mind with people you've sold property to. All right. Number 2, prospects. That's the obvious ones, like the buyers and sellers you're working with. If that buyer you're working with announces on Facebook they just lost their job, you want to hear about it, right? But more than that is you got to have a marketing mind. Carmen, you know, one of your girlfriends announces that she's getting married, you know. Boom, ding, ding, ding. She might want to buy a new house. She might want to sell her old condo. They might want to buy a 3rd place, right? So you put her in a prospect list. She doesn't know she's in that list, but this allows you to be uber efficient because I could teach you to do 5 hours of social media in about 15 to 30 minutes every day. So that sphere list, that's your buyers, that's your sellers. And then you got to use that marketing brain again. Who else should be there? Stephanie, when I sold real estate, I had an accountant give me 15 deals in 3 years. You know, I was so green behind the ears. I didn't even know I was networking. All I knew is my accountant kept sending me business. I go to a Mike Ferry seminar out in Vegas. I paid $3,000 for this weekend. All the negative Nellies at the office were like, I don't know if it's worth the money. I'm like, hey, if I sell one house, it pays for it. That was my attitude. Anyways, and Mike Ferry sticks his microphone in my face and says, what's working? I said, Bob, the accountant. He's like, meet more Bobs. And that was my takeaway from that event, right? But that takeaway made me like $300,000 because I went back. I took Bob to breakfast and I said, Bob, how do I meet more guys like you? He's like, you want to meet middle-aged balding men? I'm like, no, I want to meet accountants. He goes, accountants, we're boring. You don't want to meet accountants? I go, I do. He goes, well, I'm a part of association. Why don't you come down to dinner with me? I'll introduce you around. At that dinner, I met 2 other accountants that became my referral sources. If I didn't do any other marketing, I could just serve their 3 referral needs and I would have made $250,000 a year, but my goals were higher than that. So what I'm telling you in 2020 is you know, you could find them online. You could go on LinkedIn. You know, if I went to UCLA, I'd look for accountants on LinkedIn that went to UCLA that were either in my network or somebody I knew was in that network, get that introduction, have a Zoom with them, talk about COVID strategies and how you could refer to each other. And guess what? You made a friend, new agents. That's a free one, and it's a good one. But you keep connections going on Facebook long after the initial Zoom call. You like their photo when they're on the golf course, when they're down in Laguna, you say, have a good time. And they might know 20 agents, but you're the one that shows that the most interest in them, who's going to get the referrals. All right. Other agents that are local. If you aren't making $1,000 a month with profit share, we need to have a conversation. You've got a great company, and agents move 2 times a year. You know what the 2 times are? At the end of the year, and when their dues are, they have to pay their dues. Okay. So you want to be the agent that's connected to them, that's sharing things on social media like this. Had an incredible workshop with hashtag Steve Black Speaker, taught us some social media. If your company isn't teaching you great training on a weekly basis, message me, or I'll invite you to the next training. That's your in, right? But how are you going to get the word out? You're going to connect to them locally. What if you have, what about an open house, a broker's open, a virtual broker's open house? How are you going to get people's eyeballs on it? You're going to connect with agents that are local, and you're going to tell Facebook, deliver this message to that person. See, there's this thing called the algorithm, and most of you may know the word, but you don't know how it works, okay? But the reality is Facebook only shows your stuff to about 7% of the people you're connected to. And here's the thing, it's the same 7% all the time. You ever notice, Stephanie, you put a picture on Facebook and the same people keep liking it? It's because they're in that inner circle of trust. How do you expand your circle? You set up a list of your clients, your prospects, your sphere. You start liking their stuff, and now they start seeing your stuff. Ding, ding, ding. Like it, you get 1 point. Love it, you get 2 points. Wow it, you get 3 points. Message them, you get 5 points, right? Comment, you get 4 points. I'm making the scale up, but I'm not making it up. If you want to get into people's news feeds, set up lists, pay attention to what they're doing. I'm only touching the tip of the iceberg of what I cover in my 90-minute webinar, and I can give you access to it if you want. Agents that are out of the area. You know, the agents in San Francisco, the agents in Montana, the agents in Arizona, they get a different message than the local agents, right? Stephanie, I don't know where I was the last time I beamed in with you guys. I think it was Utah or somewhere. I've been in my RV for like 4 months, just traveling the West, having a great time, and in between doing these webinars for students and VIP clients like Keller Williams. But I was up in Montana. They told me people from LA and Southern California are buying property unseen. They don't even ask the price. They're asking, does it have internet? How can I get a tower installed? But there is a movement, if you haven't noticed, for people that have been quarantined. They realize, what am I going to do? What am I going to do next time this happens? And you need to know agents outside of the state so you can generate referral fees. Give me a thumbs up if that's important source of revenue. All right. It's more than just selling houses. Okay. And then friends in your city. And I would really go hyper local. Write that down. Hyper local. You know, if I was in Calabasas, I'd have my friends in Malibu in one list, my friends in Calabasas in another, my friends in Ventura in another, because the people that are there are going to be more receptive to hearing about a local restaurant that they frequent than something that they've never heard of. Does that make sense to you? And this applies on your personal and your business. And I could show you a little hack that helps you identify who those people are and quickly put them into a list. Then once they're in a list, you're able to listen and you're able to talk. Let me take you to my Facebook personal profile. I'll show you this in action. So we're going to go over to my personal profile, a little different vibe than my business page. And that's what it should be. Your business page should look great. It should, you know, I'm going to talk about that in a minute, but your personal profile, keep it friendly, keep it lifestyle oriented. It shouldn't be a logo. It shouldn't be a big thing about you're the best realtor in California. Nobody wants to hear that. All right. They want to know, Luis, we met at a restaurant, we love tequila, right? So, I want to hear about what tequila you're drinking. I want to hear about what restaurants you're dining at. I want to hear about what clubs you're going to. And then once in a while, I want to be reminded you're an agent. And write this down next to that 80-20, write this down. Tell your story. When it's time to talk business, it's not best deal in town, just reduced, just listed. It's you putting a wine on a countertop, beautiful view of the Pacific Ocean, saying, I saw the most magnificent property today, really well priced for what it is, great neighborhood. Would you celebrate with red wine or white wine? And what happens? 50 of your friends jump in, say, I want red, I want white. How much is it? I drink bourbon, I drink water. Where is it? And whether they're asking about the property or they're just popping their head up from 3 years ago, it's a great opportunity. Like yesterday, this is so simple and people complicate it. See, it's all about the engagement. I did this big event on Tuesday. We had like 1,000 people that paid $700 to be on my virtual success summit. And before I went on that morning on September 8th, I popped this on the screen, which is, what are you grateful for? Now you could do it as text, but you had that little feature there where Facebook turns it into a picture. So I turned it into a picture. I had 57 people tell me what they're grateful for. I had another 17 people just go like that. That's what, 75 people, 74 people? If you were to do Carmen, if you were to do a mailing, you have a 1% open rate. You'd have to mail 7,500 pieces of mail. That would cost you at least $3,800 just to get your name in front of people, remind them you're alive. I achieved that with this. And Facebook showed it not to 7% of my friends, but probably 20% of my friends, because people were liking and clicking it. Facebook's goal, show them stuff that's hot. And it could be as simple as this. Let me show you another one. I was out at a winery in Walla Walla. Neil Patrick Harris on the label. I thought that was cute. Here, this is one of my favorites. I bring my dog into a lot of my posts. People love my dog. People know my dog's name, and I don't even know their name. They're like, how's Gunner? How's Mr. Handsome, right? Anyways, I saw this. This was not really about Gunner, though. It was about this 74 Vet. I just put it out there. Gotta love 74 Vet. What's your favorite classic car? Almost 100 people engaged with this. You're like, Steve, what's the big deal? I got popular posts. The big deal is, are you monetizing it? So here it is. Here's the most valuable information you're ever going to get. Write this down. 19 equals 1. 19 equals 1. I've been coaching agents since 94. 19 equals 1. 19 conversations with homeowners equals 1 listing. If they're really good at talking to people, Stephanie, it's 18. If they stutter through the presentation, they're brand new, it's 21. But the average is 19. And who's been to Bold? Could I see a raise of hands? You've got to do Bold, right? Bold gets your mindset right. People either love it or hate it when the instructor says, now make 20 phone calls, right? Here's how you amplify your success with Bold. You put something interesting on social media that morning. Then when the likes come in, here's what you do. You go through the list and you're like, boom, there's the gal who just casually mentioned to me last year that if her mom passed, she was going to be selling her mom's house and she was moving out of the area. She just popped her head up. Now, if I didn't take the time to do a selfie with her 6 months ago, she wouldn't have seen my post. So there's a whole thing to this. You got to embrace this, even if you don't like Facebook. Younger people, I know you're looking at me like Facebook's not cool. It's for old people. Well, I got news for you. You're not selling to 18-year-olds. You're selling to 48-year-olds, 58-year-olds, 68-year-olds, 78-year-olds. And the rich old guys like me, we're on Facebook. We're not necessarily on TikTok, right? Now, I am on Instagram. I will give you a full disclaimer. You know how I got on Instagram, Stephanie? I called my 15-year-old nephew up after sending him a $100 gift card. He doesn't call me back. I call him again. He doesn't call me back. I call my sister. Mom's steaming. I'm like, what's the matter with your son? He doesn't call me back. She goes, don't be offended. He doesn't call anybody back. You want to talk to him, you got to talk to him on Instagram. And I found everybody. I found Erica there, and I found Noam there. I found Elena there. I found Stephanie there. So it's not just a place for young people. The people that started it at 22 are now 33, and they're buying homes. So you got to have a presence, but Facebook is your focus, in my opinion. So here I am on my Facebook personal profile. We were talking about Rhonda. So I go ahead and I send her a message, and the message isn't, is your mom still alive? Are you ready to sell? The message is what? What's your favorite classic car? Have you ever been to Walla Walla? And then here's the secret sauce. Write this down. If you don't write anything else down, write this down. Take the online relationship offline as quick as possible. Take that online offline. So it's like fishing, you know, I threw the fish out there. You know, have you ever been to Walla Walla? She says, no, but I'd love to go. I say, hey, I'd rather talk to you than chat with you. I'm going to call. Is it better to call you or fire up a Zoom? Here's my personal link. She goes, no, my hair's not done. I say, great. We'll just talk on the phone. I'm calling you now. She has to answer. Now I got her on the phone. I'm like, hey, Rhonda, what's going on? Let's catch up. Well, how's your mom? Oh, I'm so sorry to hear about that. What else is going on? How's your job? Oh, well, listen, what are you thinking about doing? Well, listen, I've been meaning to call you for a while. I don't know if you know, prices at an all-time high, interest rates at all-time low, market is red hot. There's never been a better time to sell and relocate. I put together a CMA. It details what's on the market, what's sold, what's under contract. Would you be offended if I shot it over? She says, I'd love to get it because I have some questions. I say, my numbers are more accurate than what you find on Zillow or those sites. I have two versions. One's for people moving, one's for people not moving. Which one do you want? And you know what she says, Stephanie? Send me the one for somebody thinking of moving. I'm not sure, but as soon as this probate's over, I'm going to probably sell mom's house. Cha-ching, hot one. You're getting a listing. Listen, people, this is easy. 4 days a week. 5 conversations going from Facebook to offline, you'll do a deal a week. You do a deal a week in your area, you're making, you know, $750,000 a year. And I have lots of students that are doing it. All right. So that's your personal profile in a nutshell. Let's go to your business page. Okay. Now in my webinars that I'm going to give you access to, let me tell you about them. There you have 5 social media webinars. We have one on how to set your business page up. We have one on how to manage your calendar and so forth. We go over about 60 different ideas in those webinars. I'm only going to give you 3 today. Write these 3 down under business page, just because we're short on time. We just need more time together. All right, number 1, write down look great. And I want you to underline great. I didn't say good, I said great. Your website, your Facebook page is your new website, okay? That doesn't mean you don't have a website. You have great websites at Keller Williams. You use them, but they only matter when you get people to look at them. It's called traffic. And traffic, unless you're an SEO expert, is very difficult to drive. It is very easy using paid and organic techniques to get your post in front of people and get them to your business page. And you only have one chance to make a great first impression. So look great. I'm going to show you some great pages in a minute. Number 2, put down, get people to like your page. Some of you are trying to do your Facebook, right? You're doing the business page thing. You check back into, you put your new listing there, 2 days, you check back in 2 days and you have 0 likes, 0 comments, 19 people reached, right? Well, part of it is you don't have enough people liking it. If you only have 200 people liking your page, it's not, you might as well not even play the game unless you're going to use some of the other strategies I teach. And the third thing, write down number 3, reviews. I'd like everybody to focus on getting at least 10 good reviews in the next 90 days. You say, Steve, I don't think I'll sell 10 houses. I'm just talking people that talk about you being a great communicator, honest, reliable, knowledgeable. They don't necessarily have to be clients to write you those reviews. But this is going to be, write down, this is your insurance policy. You know what's an insurance policy for, Luis? When that nut job tenant writes something bad about you. You never even met the guy, but he's mad that they're selling the property and he's blaming you. And he's trying to ruin your business for it. Has anybody ever been a nut job other than me? Right? See, I had a guy writing negative stuff about me in Afghanistan. He never even met me, right? But I had so many good reviews, it didn't affect me. But if you have 3 reviews and some nut job writes you a bad one, you just went from 5.0 to 3.2. I'm not eating in a restaurant that's 3.2, and I'm not using a realtor that's 3.2. So let me take you real time and show you this. By the way, most speakers don't do this because they don't know the platform real well. I know this inside and out, so I'm very confident in doing this for you. So you don't want to learn from a guy that doesn't know what he's doing. You want to like Mike at the water cooler. Somebody was on the last webinar. He goes, well, my friend Mike says that boosting posts don't work. I said, who's Mike? He goes, oh, he's at the office. I go, is he a top producer? He goes, no, he's broke like me. Everybody say, I won't take advice from anyone more messed up than I am. Choose your mentors carefully, all right? All right, here we go. So we're at Lisa Hill's group. I'm gonna show you her view as a visitor. And the first thing you notice about her page is a video cover. Right down next to looking great, video cover. If you want to find out how many likes you have, you go to your community tab, okay? And this is going to show you. Lisa has 5,332 likes. Stephanie, last time we were on the webinar, she had 5,180 likes because she uses my strategies every day to increase the people in the community that like her. Like if she gives away a gift card at a virtual open house, she has people like her page and draws from those. Ching, 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 another freebie for those of you taking notes. All right, now look, why do you want to get people to like you? A, as I mentioned, now it is easy to use Facebook as the post office to get your message in front of the people that you want to reach to achieve Gary Keller's goal for you of touching everybody 33 times a year. You put your listing, you put your just sold, you put your informational Facebook Live on your business page. You pay Facebook, write this down, $10 to reach 700 people, $20 to reach about 1,400 people. That is, write down, dirt cheap, all right? But you got to know how to get your ads approved. Otherwise, you're getting them rejected, okay? So, you know, she puts anything on social media, she boosts it for at least $10 to the people that are in her town that like her page. So she is continually getting in front of people. The second reason why you need to get people to like your page is because it is a competitive advantage. She went on 52 listing appointments last year. She got all 52 at 6 and 7% in a market that's driven by people doing 4 and 5% listings. So how does she do it? Well, she says that other agent over at Remax or at Century 21, they're a nice gal. I've actually been in a class with them, but I want you to look at something. Her page has 240 likes. Mine has 5,300. My network is about 20 times the size of hers based on what we're seeing here on Facebook. Wouldn't you agree? And you know what they say every time? That makes sense. And then she says, and why it's important to you is your house can sell for $640 or it could sell for $670 depending on the visibility we give it. Since I have a bigger network, wouldn't it make sense to list with me? Did you catch that, everybody? So at this point, I'd like everybody, and I want 100% participation. I'm laying it out here for you. Some of you will have your cameras off, so I really need you to participate. Enter into the chat box approximately how many likes do you have on your business page? Put down how many likes do you have on your business page. And next to it, put down a guesstimate of how many friends you have on your business, on your personal profile. If you don't have a business page, put I don't have one. Okay, Pamela, do not set one up without me, okay? If you go the route of every other agent, you're going to end up like every other agent. You're going to be a year or two into it, and you're going to have 200, 300, 400 likes, okay? I can show you a trick. Once you start up with me in 10 minutes, that will take all your friends and turn them into likes on your business page. We actually did it for Lisa. Go to number 3 on your worksheet where we wrote down video marketing on page 1 and write this down. Write down video testimonials. Here's what you want to back up what you say. Here you go.
Hi, this is Lisa Hill, and I'm with Keller Williams Winter Park. This is my 4th business summit with Steve Black, and every time I come, I learn something new. And I have gone from 500 likes on my business page to 4,300. It's amazing. Everything that he has taught me has just increased my business. My production has tripled. I just can't thank him enough. It's a total awesome.
So everybody, next to video marketing on page 1, where we're taking notes, write down video testimonials. Here's my challenge for each
Welcome
of
back.
you.
Now, you may have noticed that Zoom does offer cloud recording training.
Write down 2. I want at least 2 within 30 days after joining up with me, okay? I want 1 from a seller ideally, and I want 1 from a buyer. What do you get a seller to say? You get the seller to say what you need them to say to beat your objections. I've got everybody's name except yours in the pink shirt. What's your name there? Sir? Pink shirt, glasses. What's your name? Unmute yourself here. I can't unmute you. All right. I wanted to call you out by name. All right, never mind. All right, well, listen. So I want 1 from a seller and I want 1 from a buyer. Here's what you get a seller to say. You get a seller to say, hey, hey, this is Steve. Carmen sold my house in less than a week with multiple offers. I had my house listed with another agent for 3 months. She brought more people in 1 week than the other agent brought in 3 months. And she got me more money than I ever thought. I didn't want to pay her 7%, but I'm glad I did because she gets results. Skip the discounters. Go with Carmen from Keller Williams. She'll get you results. Carmen, if you have that on your phone, you have it on your Facebook page, you have it on your YouTube, you are getting 6 and 7% listings. You know, I don't know if Homey's down in your area or Redfin, you know, but this is your strategy for defeating those companies. They're saying, well, I might want to go with this company. They only charge 1%. You say, hey, I sold one of their listings. Here's what my client said. If this is a great idea, give me a thumbs up. And the way you get them is you blame it on me. You say, I'm working with this guy, Steve Black. They say, well, I don't look good on camera. You say, you don't have to do it now, but let's do it next week. They say, okay, what do you want me to say? Hey, all of you have a buyer problem. You know what your buyer problem is? Asterisk. You've known the girl since high school, right? You know she wants to buy a house. You say, I'll get you a list of property. What does she say? Oh, I'm okay. I'll call you if I see something. Has anybody ever met that person? So you get a video from a buyer that says, I was using apps, driving neighborhoods. Nobody would call me back. When they did call me back, properties were sold. I got with Asterisk, and in 4 days, she found me my dream properties. If you're out there looking for a house, skip the apps, deal with one of the best Keller Williams agents in town, Asterisk. I'm probably hacking your name up, but that's the point. Come on, give me a thumbs up, y'all. I'm working hard here for you. All right, thank you. Not easy talking to the green thing, the camera. All right. So we're talking video now. Now write this down next to video. Write down Facebook Live. And when I was a kid, I like hockey. I actually grew up out in California, and we got Wayne Gretzky, the great Gretzky, right? And I saw him interviewed. I was probably 10, 11 years old. And they said, why do you score so much? He goes, because I go where the puck is going, not where it's been. If I had to tell you where the puck is going, it's more live video, okay? So got to get past your fear. You got to start doing it. I'm going to give you a couple background information here. I'm going to give you some background information here. And first off, how long should it be? Everybody enter in the chat box. How long should a Facebook Live be? Go ahead and enter in the chat box. Give me some guesses. 20 to 30 minutes max. 10 minutes. Carmen says 10 minutes prior. Rebecca, 3 to 10. Cool. I'm very grateful you guys aren't saying 30 seconds or a minute, okay? I'm going to give you a range, 3 minutes to 30 minutes, okay? I've helped thousands of students do Facebook Lives. We find that the live attendance peaks somewhere between 10 and 18 minutes. So there's a number of things you have to do, like you introduce yourself in the beginning, but you also introduce yourself midway through, 10 minutes into it, etc. Priya, okay, so Priya. Okay, all right. But there's the second thing is you know, you could broadcast from your personal profile, you could broadcast from your business page. I want you broadcasting from your business page. When you do a virtual open house, it starts on your business page. You're doing a coming soon on the market, it starts on your business page. The reason is because then you could always share it to your personal profile and you can advertise it. You can get the wheels rolling. So let me show you Lisa Hill. Now, more important than how to push the buttons, and I do have a little 20 video course I can give you on how to press the buttons. Like, how do you do a Zoom and broadcast it to your business page? It's real easy. But the strategy is the most important thing. And in the 90-minute webinar that I did on Facebook Live, Lisa Hill from Keller Williams in Florida, write her page down. It's facebook.com/Lisa Hill Group. And when you have a referral for Florida, give it to her. She's really good. And I also want you to follow her on social media so you can see what she's doing. But she totally transformed her business with Facebook Live. First thing is, write this down. She's very consistent. She does at least 2 or 3 of these a week. The more often your audience sees you and you're putting out quality content, the more they are receptive to this. One thing that has been very successful for her is what she calls Title Thursday. Write that down. She gets with her favorite title rep and they discuss issues that homeowners are interested regarding everything from VRBOs to Airbnbs to estate planning, etc. Rentals. I guess you got, what's that thing you have out there called? Anyways, when they control the rent. All right, but so you talk with your title rep. Who would rather sell $2 million properties than $200,000 starter homes? Could I see a raise of hands? Everybody should get their hand up, okay? It pays 10 times as good and sometimes it's 10 times as easy. If anybody, I live in Tampa, Florida, also known as Title Town, right? We brought the Patriots down to Tampa. We got the Rays in first place. The Lightning are going for it. But it's just a little Tampa pride coming out. But if you ever come visit Florida, look me up, okay? If we're friends on Facebook or you have my cell number, I'll take you fishing or out on the boat. If we go fishing from the shore, we're going to fish for one kind of fish. We take the big boat out, fish for marlin. You better have a day and a half. We'll do that, and we'll use different bait. But here's why I mentioned that is you got to put the right bait in the water if you want to get the big fish. So I'm going to pop this on the screen, and this is how you catch a big fish.
Happy Monday, everybody. This is Lisa Hill, and today is Mortgage Mondays, and I'm here with Patrick Lewis. How are you today, Patrick?
Good. How are you?
Good, good. Well, today we're going to talk a little bit about creative ways to finance jumbo properties. And by jumbo properties, I mean, you know, because the loan amounts and all that kind of stuff. So, you know what, Patrick, I'm going to turn it on over to you.
Sure. That's a quick intro. Thanks again for having me.
All right, I'll stop there. Everybody write down $80,000. I think last time I was on here, Stephanie, I said that she did this video and she made $37,000. She's a capper, okay? And she had her loan officer talk about creative ways to finance jumbo loans. A guy hit the line. He says, I have $800,000 in equity. I want to buy a place for $1.4 million. What are my options? He gets to answer the question offline. She gets the listing. She gets the listing. She represents them in the purchase. She puts $2.2 million on the board. And Stephanie, she heard me telling the story, right? She goes, quit lying to people. I didn't make 37.2. I made 80. I go, what do you mean? She goes, that was the big deal, but I got 5 or 6 other good deals out of it. So total investment, 14 minutes and 19 seconds of her time. And then knowing how to do this right, so it got 2,000 views instead of 200. We used a special software. I teach you that in my webinars so that you could broadcast, have the names look like a TV. It also allows you to get better viewership, broadcast to multiple pages so she could capture his clients, etc. She's helping him, but he's helping her as well. You get it? And that's what you're looking for. So what she does in our 90-minute class that I'll give you access to is she shows you the 12 different ways that she's using it. Here's another one, remodel projects. One of her most popular series is her Renovation Nation.
Hey, good morning, everybody. This is Lisa Hill, and I'm out here at Beverly Shores at the pool house.
So what she does, has anybody ever sold a property to an investor? Right? Or new construction? What you do is you create a TV show around it. And Stephanie, it builds. You know, episode 1, you're at that house built in 59, shag carpets, cottage cheese ceilings. You're showing how disgusting it is. Then you show up a month later and you're like, whoa, look at this. Walls are torn out. Amazing what a good contract will do. Hey, Thomas, come over here. I want to interview you. They love to hear from the contractor. 60 days out, interview the hottest decorator in Calabasas. It costs people $500 an hour to get on her calendar if they could, and they're going to get free tips from her. People love that. I'm telling you, Lisa cannot walk into the supermarket without people going, hey, you're the blonde from the videos. When's your next video? What's the next project? And that's marketing, and that's what all of you want to have happen for you. Give me a thumbs up if this makes sense, even if you don't know all the details. Come on. All right. Thank you, Stephanie. All right, thank you, Priya. Priya, okay, my friend Priya out there. All right, so let's keep this going. I'm really trying to give you like 5 hours of information in less than an hour. I hope I'm delivering for you. Let's go back and let's grade ourselves now on the first 3 areas: Facebook personal, Facebook business, and video marketing. And here's our scale: 2 to 9. 2 means you don't know what you're doing, but you're coachable. If you're coachable, write down in the chat box, I'm coachable. I'd rather have somebody that doesn't know what they're doing that's coachable and make them a 6 in 60 days than somebody that thinks they know everything. Nobody's a 10. And Stephanie, I always leave the ones for all those agents we invited that didn't make the time. I can't help them. I apologize. But give me a little time and they'll come out better than they came in. Awesome. Awesome. Neria, Arnie, Carmen, all right, you're the kind of people I'm looking for. People that say, hey, I know a little bit, but there's always more to learn, right? On my broadcast I did on Tuesday, I had a Super Bowl champion, 2-time Super Bowl champion with me. And he says, Steve, I've been following you since 07. As soon as my career was over, I realized I needed a mentor, and you're the guy. And I go, I like it. He goes, but really, you know, people, everybody, you know, I own restaurants, they've died, but we've switched, and now they're doing better than ever. You know, Tom Ferry calls it pivoting. You got to adapt to what's out there, and the first adapters are the ones that are going to make the most money. So I'm glad you're here today. But let's talk about Instagram. So number 4, Instagram. Let's go down to our Instagram page. Now Instagram's it's owned by Facebook, but very different. It's all visual. It's driven by hashtags. Hashtags are just being adopted by Facebook. They look spammy if you use too many of them. Instagram, there's little hacks you could do. Like one of the little hacks you could do with Instagram and your hashtags is put them in the first comment. That way, that post looks nice and clean, but you still get the traction from the hashtags. But in the 90-minute webinar we do on Instagram, you will learn more about Instagram than you ever thought possible that you could learn. But I'm gonna give you 3 things today. In that webinar, you get like 35 things. Write down number 1. Write down, look great. Number 1, look great. Number 2, think like a magazine editor. All right? Number 3, Instagram stories. It's all about Instagram stories. Who's an active Instagram user? Just put yes in the chat box or IG. Who are my active Instagram users? Rebecca, okay. Luis. Come on, I know we got more out there. Quit multitasking. All right, Kurt. Stephanie, all right. Nina, okay, awesome. So I know one thing about you. You know, the people you follow, when you're on Instagram, you're looking at their stories. So when I heard about stories, I told my coach, they only last 24 hours. I'm not doing it. He goes, you're making a big mistake. He goes, you could highlight the stories, make them last forever. And that's one thing I'm going to cover. So let's look at Instagram. First thing, I would love a headshot on each of your Instagram profiles. I know a lot of other people do it different, but you're in a relationship business. If you meet somebody while you're shopping, or you meet somebody at a restaurant, or you meet somebody at your church or synagogue or mosque, you need to, you follow them, they're going to follow you back. We already talked about having a good handle. I mean, I look at some agents, Stephanie, and their handle's like Hot Cali Girl 74. I'm like, really? You can rename that. You can change it. Your bio, show your personality. Write this down next to look great under #1 on Instagram. Write down, set it up as a business account. There are no disadvantages, all advantages. One of the major advantages is you get a hyperlink in your bio. So that website you put all that time into that nobody goes to, now you can drive them to there. Drive them to your IDX search. Drive them, Amy, to your listing of the week, right? Now, in our webinar, I show you how to turn that one link into 10 links, okay? Hashtag. All of you should have one or multiple branded hashtags that are unique to you that you use on a regular basis. Everybody, put in the chat box, what is your branded hashtag that you use all the time? Kurt sells Cali. I love it, Kurt. Rebecca Castine Real Estate. Go for it, girl. Realty by Nina. Good vibes. You love it. All right. So if you don't have one, put I don't have one. Elena, what's your hashtag? Teresa, what's your hashtag? Kendra, come on. Quit multitasking. Pay attention. Okay. Art Alper. Alper sells CA. Right? You got a unique name there. ALPER sells CA. There's your hashtag. Now, you know what you do, Alper? You get hats made, you get t-shirts made, and instead of giving them champagne that they're going to drink, give them everybody in the house a t-shirt and a hat. Make it nice, though. Make it stylish, like something you wear on Melrose or something, right? And now, I'm at the gym. I'm a millionaire, and I'm pumping iron, and it says Alper sells CA. And the guy next to me says, what's that? I go, oh, that's my realtor. He gave it to me at the close. He goes, is he any good? I go, he's awesome. He goes, mine stinks. She must be in the witness protection program. I can't find her half the time. I said, give him a call. He goes, how do I reach him? I go, look up his hashtag. That's how it goes down in 2020. So you got to take your online and combine it with offline. I'm giving you so many great ideas. I mentioned think like a magazine editor. You put all I want on your profile is success in real estate and California lifestyle. What that means is that picture of your nephew's Tonka toy from last Christmas, it doesn't belong here. Archive it, get it out of there. When you get with my marketing coach, once you sign up with our program, you get with my marketing coach. Her name's Karen Albert. She's going to look at your stuff and she's going to say, this is awesome. This needs to go. We need to switch this. And then you can either hire her to do it or go into the trainings and learn. But you need to have somebody that's going to look at this objectively. Like one of the big mistakes agents make, Stephanie, is they list Keller Williams, Austin, Texas as their employment. They've lost that client. They're calling a 512 number. Either have them at your local office as your employment or have it at your business page. Let me show you what I mean by that. If I go to Lisa Hill's personal profile, look at what it says. It doesn't say Keller Williams, Austin, Texas. It shows that she works at Lisa Hill Group. So when I hear she's a good realtor, I stay in her ecosphere. That's worth $100,000 a year to you if you do it right. So there's all this stuff you need to know, and there's stuff you don't even know you don't know, and hopefully I'm getting some ideas. I kind of want to wind this down, though, now that we've talked a little bit about, Instagram. I want to talk a little more about Instagram. Here's my favorite Instagram. I'm going to enter you in a free drawing. Go ahead and tell me what kind of animal is this in the chat box. Don't look at the chat. Alpaca. Anybody ever touched an alpaca? They are so soft. Then there was a llama. Is it a llama? Llama. And he spit on me. I don't like llamas. I like alpacas. All right. But listen, Instagram stories. So a couple ways agents are successfully using Instagram stories during quarantine. So you go to MLS, you grab 4 or 5 pictures, or you go out and take pictures of the house. And you show the living room, you show the outside, you show the pool area, you show the barbecue, you show the master bedroom. You create a 5-picture, 4-picture, 6-picture story, and do those on a regular basis. You're going to create inquiries, you're going to get conversations going, and you're going to do business. The other thing that Instagram stories are so valuable for are surveys. Anybody ever done a survey on Instagram for your business? All right. So when people answer these questions, you get to see who those people are. So let me pause this for a second. So people do what they are comfortable with. Facebook users like Facebook, Instagram users like Instagram. But, you know, I had an 82-year-old lady. Her name was Betty down in Florida. And she's like, Steve, I don't know anything about it. I go, well, listen, sign up for my program. We do a once-a-month webinar. There's a ton of stuff that'll teach you how to press the buttons in marketing. It'll get you from point A to point B. She goes, you don't understand. I'm really tech challenged. I go, you got anybody young in your family that could help you? She goes, my nephew's going to be here the holidays. I go, perfect. I signed her up for my program. It was this is last December. It was $2,500. And it's as good or better than those other guys that charge $7,000, $8,000, $10,000. Now here's the good news. For those of you that showed up today, 90% off of that. I'm going to give you the whole package for $278. I'm only going to do 8 of them, and I'm not selling. I'm just telling a story here. So anyways, Stephanie, she signs up. She calls me up two weeks later on New Year. She's like, hey, Steve, Betty here. Happy New Year. I'm like, Betty, my phone hasn't rang in 3 days. She goes, I'm old school. I go, I know. She goes, Steve, I'm really enjoying your sessions. My nephew set up my Instagram. I got 300 followers. It's my attorney. It's my clients. It's people I haven't talked to in a while. I think I'm making progress. I go, I think you are. She's like, what do I do now? Alper, I'm like, why you're calling me? Why don't you say Happy New Year to 300 people and go enjoy your life? You know, take a selfie with your Happy New Year hat on. And I go, and also share it. Make sure you not only put it on your wall, but share it to your story and use the survey. And she's like, oh, the survey from the webinar. What should my survey be? I go, you're in real estate. It's New Year's. You got 300 followers. Why don't you ask them who's planning to move in 2019? Yes or no? Are the light bulbs going off out there for you? So Stephanie, she calls me up on the 5th of January. She's like, Steve, it's Betty again. I'm sorry to bother you. I go, you're not bothering me. You paid your tuition. You can call me 24/7. She goes, I appreciate it. She goes, well, listen, it says 17 people said yes. What do I do now? Alper, I'm like, click the button. It's going to show you who they are. And then call them, text them, meet them at Denny's for coffee. I don't care. They want to move. She goes, oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. I wish I had this 30 years ago. Oh my gosh. She goes, I haven't sold a house in 2 years. This is going to help me. Stephanie, I checked in with her 10 months later. 9 deals, 1 strategy. I'm like, how much you make? And she only sells houses for $280 in Florida. She made $93,000. She's like, do I owe you a referral fee? I go, you pay 20 or 25%? I go, no, you keep your check. She would have paid me like, $22,000 for the, gladly, but she paid her tuition. And you're going to get it at 10% of what she paid. So, I strongly encourage you to have strategies. She was going to quit. Stephanie, she's going to sell till she's 92. It works. Anyways, let's go back to our worksheet and let's wrap this up. I want to talk to you about the last thing, and that's virtual selling skills. But before I do, let's everybody, where's that page? Let's everybody grade ourselves on Instagram, 2 to 9. 2 means you don't have an account, but you're coachable. 5 means you're doing okay, but you've never really gotten business off of it. 9 means you're doing a deal a week off of Instagram. All right. And the 5th area, virtual selling skills. It's easier for me to show you than tell you. So in my training vault that I'm going to give you access to, we answer the questions for how do I do this stuff? Like, how do I do a Facebook Live and broadcast it on Zoom? Do that split screen interview. Facebook ads, write that one down. Facebook ads, you got to know how to run Facebook ads. This says basics of Facebook. It starts basic, but then it shows you one of the most valuable things you could do. Write this down. Upload your database into Facebook. Stephanie, if agents want to touch clients 33 times a year on autopilot, they must, it's imperative, take the database from KV Core, upload it into Facebook, create custom audiences. And I know that, you know, that the way they're moving that forward, you might even be able to do that natively in there, but you got to do that. You got to learn about retargeting, and it's very simple. Like anybody that goes to one of these videos that I do, I retarget them. Kurt, anybody that goes to an open house, like on the page and marks themselves interested or not interested, you could start running every new listing you get to those people on autopilot. Just tell Facebook, show it to the people that looked at that listing or looked at that open house. Maybe we break it out, under 700, over 700, over 3 million, get the right message to the right person. Everybody knows retargeting. You know, Stephanie, when you look at a pair of shoes and it starts to stalk you all over the internet and you don't buy it, right? You're disciplined, but then they say flash sale, 2 for 1, you buy 4, save twice as much. All right, you got to know how to use LinkedIn. LinkedIn is an amazing research tool. Kurt, you know the wife, she's sweet as cherry pie. You've never met the husband. How do you get into instant rapport with that attorney or that surgeon? You look him up on LinkedIn, you see, you know where he went. He went to UCLA, you went to UCLA. You know 4 of the same people, one of which you sold the house. It is gold. You got, jot down Canva. You got to know how to use Canva. And I know you have a Keller Williams tool, and the same things apply, but you know, you got to know how to resize images, because the image on Instagram and Instagram stories and Facebook, they're all different. You should know how to, you know, automate your business, maybe with Google Apps, so that, you know, you could work in a virtual environment. Like I have a virtual assistant that actually runs my Canva for me. And then we do a spreadsheet inside of Google Apps. Beautiful. I play golf and I fish. And, you know, hosting your interview shows. I do a whole webinar with Lisa on hosting webinars via Facebook Live, but this is like, how do you turn it into a podcast after? So that's what I would call virtual selling skills. And what I want you to do is I want you to rate yourself on a scale of 2 to 9. Now, here it is. This is where the rubber meets the road. You're good at some things, you're not so good at others. Did I hit it on the head? Fix it. If you went to the doctor and he says, hey, you got cancer, can I deal with it next year? No, you deal with it now or you might die. All right, every minute you let go where you're not really, really good at this stuff, it's gonna cost you at least 10 grand a month in California in your area, maybe 20, right? And life is short. You wanna be the best you could be. So let me show you the rest of this offer, and then I have one more module to cover with you, a real important one on attitude. But what I have for you, now it says $1,496 package for $179. The package that you should get is actually our $2,496 package for $278. And that's not per month, that's a one-time investment. That's gonna move you from here to there. I've sold thousands of these at the higher prices, but because COVID, I just want to help people out right now. Here's the basic package, the $179. You get 5 social media videos. You get 1 on how to set your social media strategy, talk about YouTube, talk about LinkedIn, talk about some of the stuff we talked about today. The 1 on how to set your business page up, including the hack to turn your personal profile into business. That alone would be worth this tuition. That how to manage your Facebook business page and use your content calendar that we give you, how to use Instagram and LinkedIn, okay? You're gonna get the training vault, the stuff I showed you, you're gonna get the strategy call, and you're gonna get the social media content. Now, my staff never wants me to include this. They're like, we sell this alone, don't include it. We sell it for more than they pay for this. I said, I don't care. I want to help people. And now's the perfect time because you get 16 months. You get the rest of the year, and then you get 2021. You get images that you can upload. I mean, Kurt, this saves you time. Hand it to your virtual assistant. Say, follow Steve's calendar, do some quotes, post some pictures, and then you augment it out there when you're at a nice restaurant with a client and you interview them, or you interview the restaurant owner. So you get all this. And all you do is you go to this link. I'm only going to take 8 people. If you want me to reserve one for you, say reserve one for me and make sure I have a good cell number for you in case it gets sold out. But where you go is you're going to go to businesssuccesstraining.com/webinar offer. Let me put that in the chat box. I'm not done training. I have something else I want to share with you. Oh, get that in there for you. There you go. All right, so I'm gonna put this in the chat box. It's businesssuccesstraining.com/webinar offer. Now here's the important part. When you come over here, that's the basic package. What you're gonna wanna do is check this little yellow box right here, and that's gonna add an extra $99 on it. So now you're into it for a whopping $278, and you got my best training. You get 5 times as much as you do with the great basic package. Instead of 5 recorded webinars, you'll log into your members area in about a half hour, and you'll have 10 there, including the one on how to do interviews, how to use Facebook as your personal Rolodex, and how to make your posts go viral. For how to in English, how to reach 40,000 people for less than $50. Again, if you want one, make sure you put it in the chat box so I reserve you one. I will shut this off once I get to 8 if you just want to go to the link. Also, besides the recorded webinars, we will do for 12 months a live webinar the second Monday of every month. The next one is on September 14th. They're always at 1 p.m. Pacific. So that's what most people do. That's going to get you the best results. It'll be a total investment of $278. If you're new and you need installments, I'm going to give you my cell number. Write my cell number down. Or if you have any questions, my number is Steve Black. My number is 407-790-1141. We could do $69 a month for 4 months. So if you've just paid your dues, you're underwater, don't let this stop you. So most people pay it off because it is a tax deduction. You just do it at the site. They send you a receipt, you're done. If you need the installments though, they don't have that option there. You need to text me and then I'll send you the instructions on that. You'll do 4 installments of $69. So I want to wrap this up. I hope you guys are getting a lot. I have one important thing to go over with you here, and that's the last page. Everybody go to 59 minutes of terrific. If you've been through Bold, this will be really familiar to you. Who's read Hal Elrod's book, Morning Miracle? All right. Hal's been alive like 30 years. I wrote this 30 years ago, okay? So I didn't steal it from Hal, I can tell you that. I stole it from Zig Ziglar. He was a great speaker, and he taught me what was called, Kurt, you probably remember Zig. He used to teach the Hour of Power. So 59 minutes of terrific. Write this down. Number 1, when you wake up in the morning, number 1, I want a positive affirmation. Everybody, you've been sitting, stand up. Let's get the blood going. Come on, stand up. Everybody say, I'm awake, I'm alive, I feel great. Come on, Albert, say, I love myself. Say, today will be terrific. Kurt, when you woke up this morning, did you say, good morning, God, or good God, it's morning? You know, it's a choice. I woke up, oh my gosh, my back hurts. All right. All right, so positive affirmation when you start. I can't emphasize this enough. Number 2, start your day with 2 big bottles of water. I probably drink 15 bottles of water a day. Alper, you're a skinny guy. I'm a fat guy. I was a fat guy. I weighed 60 pounds more than I weigh right now. And Kurt, everybody's like, was it the keto diet, the Hollywood diet, the celery diet? I'm like, no, I just started drinking water. My old habit, I drank Diet Coke. I thought Diet Coke would make me skinny. It dehydrated me and made me hungry. So now I drink water. I encourage you. Little ginger, little cayenne, the sinuses, real good. Number 3, exercise 15 to 30 minutes. And there's not a person on this call that doesn't have good intentions. I mean, you bought the Zumba videos, Annie. You know, Priya, you have a yoga mat. Are you using it, right? What's getting in the way, Kurt, of our exercises, we're checking our phones in the morning. And then all of a sudden there's a fire to put out. And 7 a.m. just turned into 10 a.m. And number four, put down feed your mind. You know, Gary Keller would tell you, he has an education company that happens to be in real estate. Stephanie's having me back for the 3rd time. Why? Because she knows that this is better than what you're getting out there on, news. You know what CNN or Fox is about? Constant negative news, especially in election year. Why put your eyeballs on that? Knowing the body count of the coronavirus is not going to help make you your next $10,000. But imagine if you spent 90 minutes a month with me. You go from here to here. Along the way, you might sell an extra dozen homes. You might make an extra $150,000, $200,000. But don't take my word for it. Just check my Facebook reviews, 5-star rated. All right, 444, this is your homework. 4 books, minimum, old-fashioned books. I'm reading a book right now called The Book of Joy by the Dalai Lama and Desmond Tutu. And Stephanie, you know what I'm saying? The Dalai Lama does the same thing I do, only he does 5 hours in the morning, I do 59 minutes. It reinforces it. The second 4, audio programs. You're stuck in traffic on 405? What are you listening to? Some negative DJ, or are you listening to some good stuff from Tony Robbins, Steve Black, Tom Ferry, Brian Buffini? Take that drive time, make it education. The last 4, learning programs. I mean, you know, when the seminar game comes back, it's awesome. Go to seminars, meet people, get fired up. But I'm telling you, this virtual stuff, it takes discipline to sit down and watch your lessons. But when you do it, it's twice as good as going to a live show, because you could stop it, you could pause it, you could rewind it, you could bring in your son, have him look at it, or your virtual assistant. So do at least 4 things. You know, here would be a good formula. Do family reunion, do bold, do ignite, and do my stuff. There's your formula. 3%, shut down self-development budget. Invest in yourself. The government gives you a tax deduction. I deducted like $30,000 of this stuff last year. It's an insurance policy on success. And my attitude, like it was when I was a young agent, if I get one idea, it pays for itself many times over. So your homework is this: take action. Some of you are going to get off this call and you're going to say, Stephanie, that guy was good, and you're going to not do anything. Others are going to move forward, get started. I'll send you your password. I'll see you on the Monday's webinar. We'll get you in the Facebook group where you could ask questions and also meet people. You know, when you're on one of my webinars, Annie, with, Amy, with 500 people, you know, you get to know these people, and then you send them a friend request. And guess what? When they have a referral in Calabasas, they're sending it to you. Meet my agents from San Jose, meet my agents from Napa, meet my agents from Beverly Hills. All right, I enjoyed being with you. Stephanie, if you could open up the mics, if anybody has any questions, I'm here for you. I'll also check the chat box. Anybody out there have any questions for me about marketing, about sales, about posting? Okay. Well, listen, I enjoyed being with everybody. My assistant said we only have 2 of these systems left. So if you're thinking about doing it, go to facebook.com or go to businesssuccesstraining.com/webinar and grab it. If you need the install.
Alatorre has a question.
Yeah, what's the question?
Silvia, about this looking great on Facebook, on Instagram. What do you mean by exactly looking great? Because I think looking real is also an uptrending thing. So I don't think looking great is like Cosmo model looking great. Like
No. What I'm saying is you have one chance to make a great first impression. When I go to people's Instagram, for example, Alper, you know, I see things like inappropriate, you know, amateur looking stuff. You know, they set this up when they were a waiter, and now, you know, it still looks like they're a waiter, right? We're in a profession in California. People are trusting with $1 million assets. So you want a headshot, you know, make it a nice picture so that I recognize, oh, that's the guy I know from the gym. Oh, okay, I'll follow him back. Have a good handle. You look at my bio in the workbook, it's all squished up. Out here, it's like spread out. Your posts are the same way. When I do my hashtags, I don't make them look spammy. I go ahead and when I do my hashtags, I put my hashtags in the first comment so that the post looks good. This is what they see in the post. So if it goes to a story, it says Glacier National Park has hashtag spectacular scenery on hashtag road to the sun. But all the other things that are going to drive traffic there and get it a lot of views is right here in the first comment. So when I say look great, there's a multitude of things. And what we do in our webinars is we give you a checklist. Okay, this is the 4 things you need in every post if you're going to get people to message you. These are the 3 things you need in your bio. These are the places you need to put your hashtags. And when it all comes together, it's like a good recipe. You got a beautiful, cake that tastes delicious and looks delicious. So that's what I mean by look good. But authentic is awesome. And that's why, people would rather do business with Alper than they would Keller Williams. No offense, right? People want to do business with an individual versus a brand. But this is why you, like on your Facebook personal, I said, don't be businessy. Agents that don't understand their business page try to sell real estate and promote their business on their personal profile. And Albert, it turns people off. You know it and I know it. We became friends because we have common interest in music or wine, not because I want to hear about real estate all the time. So it's authentic, but it's also strategic. So I hope that explains it. Anybody else have questions? Thank you, my friend. Anybody else have any questions out there?
I do. Hi.
Hi, how are you? What's your name?
It's Priya.
Hi. I just had to have you say it instead of me. Hi, Priya.
I'm glad all of you are going to remember me now.
You just say it's Priya like the car, right?
Oh man, yes. And I hate that car, but thank you.
What's your question, Priya?
So my question is, I just joined last month. I have done sales before, but like, you know, this is my first foray in real estate. So especially like, you know, timing, like it's COVID. So what suggestions do you have for brand new real estate agents, and how do you think your services can help us?
Well, I think it's going to accelerate the process. Between what I do and what Keller Williams provides for you, your success is guaranteed. You made one already really good choice, and that's to go with Keller Williams as a new agent. They have the best training available. Stephanie brings me in to amplify the success. But remember what I said about 5 a day for 4 days a week? Yeah. If you just did this, Priya.
Oh my God, I'm going to be your real estate agent for sure now.
If you just did this, Priya, if you just put something on social media, not about real estate, but about life, you had people pop their head up, you know, talking about, you know, just about cars, about life, about music. Stay away from politics, stay away from religion, and then go ahead and listen to who's talking. And then, like I said today, take that online conversation offline. And then you're going to be, you know, you have, let's say Renee here was your friend from 4 years ago and she likes a post. It is the perfect time to message her. Hey, I'm going crazy here at my place. My kids have been home for 6 weeks. You want to do a Zoom or can we have a quick call? You get her on the phone. Hey, what's going on? I don't know if you heard, I'm in real estate. Oh my gosh, congratulations. It's funny because my husband and I were just talking about getting a place out, you know, out in a suburb so the kids could have a yard. You say, well, listen, I didn't call you to talk about business. I just called to talk to you about life. But what, you know, when could I stop by and drop off, you know, come by and share a glass of wine? You know, we'll sit with our masks. She says, anytime you want, I'd love to see you. And now you really have a listing appointment, right, Stephanie? Yeah. Renee doesn't know you have a listing appointment, but when you guys get into the wine and you start talking about the market and what's going on, that's how you do it. And Priya, what stops new people is the fear of getting started. You know, what if they reject me? This is, you just have to, you know, get out there and touch your people, have conversations. I mean, you know how people start doing business with me? I just say, hey, tell me about your business. And they tell me, I go, how's your social media? Oh, it stinks. Do you think it's something that would help you? Well, I have a program. Oh, wow. How much is it? And, you know, it's just conversations. That's all sales is. But you need a catalyst. And I just showed you sort of a crash course on this. I'll send the replay of this also to Stephanie so that you guys can learn more. My assistant says we have one system left. So if you already put it in the chat box to save you one and you haven't ordered, now would be the time to go to businesssuccesstraining.com. If you sent me a text that you need the installments, you're counted in. You won't get shut out. But we're only going to leave this up for another 3 minutes and one more person. Mirit, you register at the link here. I'm going to put it in the chat box. It's businesssuccesstraining.com/webinar offer. Let me put that on the screen for you. So you go to this link right here. Now, when you go there, make sure, Merritt, that you check the yellow box, and then your bill will be $278 instead of $179, but you get 5 times as much. And then what's going to happen? Give me about 15 minutes. I'm going to have a password sent to you. Then you're going to log in. And when you log in, I'm going to show you what you get. So you're going to come over to the your main area, and this is where your social media calendar is, right here. These are the little lessons that are not exciting, but they're the tech stuff that you need to know, like how do you do Facebook ads? How do you do Canva? The exciting stuff is right here where it says monthly webinars. But the first thing you do is you watch the welcome video, you join the Facebook groups so that we can ask each other questions, talk, you can meet other people. You get the next webinar on your calendar, which is actually Monday, September 14th. And you schedule your strategy call with the coach, and then she's gonna get you on the phone, ask you about who you wanna market to, how to do your business, then get into the training, my training, and as long as you're doing the upgraded program, you get all these programs automatically. How to Facebook Live, that's with Lisa Hill out of Orlando, Keller Williams. This is Facebook personal strategy, using your Facebook as a Rolodex. This is the one on making your post go viral. It's all waiting for you. I recommend one of these a week minimum. So over the next 3 months, you get really good at this stuff really fast. Anybody else have any questions about business, sales, or success before I go? All right. One left, so go over there and get it. If you need the installments, you just text me at my number. Stephanie, thank you so much for all your support.
Thank you. I appreciate you very much. I always love your webinars and your energy and the whole bit. So thank you so much for giving us your time again.
Awesome. And I'm going to put my Facebook business page. If you have any questions, either text me or go to my business page. It's business. Steve Black Speaker. I put it in the I'll put it in the chat box for you. And I want to close with this. You know, I got people of all different levels, and I've been helping people for so long. You know, you're in a tough business, you're in a competitive business, but if you work on yourself, you can rise to the top. Keller Williams has a proven track, a system to make it work. I'm just a small part of that. Remember, your number one goal in life isn't to be rich, it's to be happy. And unless you're learning, you're not growing. Unless you're growing, you're not truly happy. And unless you're happy, really, what else is there? I enjoyed being with you. I look forward to seeing you on the calls, and I'll see you in the Facebook group. Thank you, everybody. Thank you so much. Bye, Alper. Bye, Kurt. See you, Luis. See you inside, Erica, Kendra, Priya.
See you. Thank you.
Bye-bye,
Thanks
Stephanie.
everyone for being
Say hi
on.
to everybody. Thank you so much.